Inside Hilltopper Athletics is brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Lynn.
Welcome to Inside Hilltopper Athletics as we wrap up the regular season in women's basketball. As always, I'm Lynn, Don Clegg, and joined by head coach Kyle Cooper. Kyle, we got a lot of things to talk about this week, so I don't know if we want to spend too much time on the results, but just to stay consistent, let's quickly talk about the two road games last week.
Yeah.
Wednesday, we traveled to Euclid to play Notre Dame, so give us some quick thoughts about that.
Yeah, I think obviously not the way we wanted to end the regular season. Two games that really turned into kind of grinded out games. And unfortunately, we did not come out on top of either of them. With the Notre Dame game in particular, I thought when we opened it up to 11 and then 8 all in that last, end of third quarter throughout the early parts of the fourth, I really felt like we'd earned that separation. I thought our players had really made some plays, hit some shots, got some stops. We were stacking a lot of good things. And then unfortunately down the stretch just couldn't close it out. So hate that for them, hate that for us, because I thought we really earned the opportunity to go get one on the road there. And obviously every win is precious and winning's hard.
Yeah, just a weird game to watch. We just had control. It felt like we just had control, but the last 2 minutes obviously didn't go our way. Then you got to come back, regroup, and we traveled a short distance down to Wheeling University to play our rivals, and they have a pretty good basketball team, so let's talk about that game.
Yeah, obviously it being a rivalry game, we knew it was going to be intense. A lot on the line for both teams. Everyone's playing for seeding, momentum going into tournament, all those different cliches, if you will. And I thought, in the first half, we played really, really good defensively. To hold them down to 32. At one point, I think we got it as much as 3 possessions up. We just couldn't get it clicking offensively, and Wheeling kind of does that to people. They kind of muck the game up defensively. They're physical. They sit down and they make you kind of play over the top. And unfortunately, for that last 7 minutes of the first half, we just couldn't convert a lot of buckets. Where I thought we could open things up, knowing we had held them down at that point to whatever it was, 25, 26 points, and then they get a couple buckets down the stretch. But still going into half, thought we were in a really good position, and then the game and the pace starts going the direction we wanted in the third, but we're just not getting stops, and then they start just stacking offensive plays. And that third quarter was just unbelievably detrimental, and we weren't able to recover from it regardless of effort in the fourth and in some moments where we had some good things on both sides of the basketball, but just didn't play good enough complementary basketball in the third, and it killed us.
Yeah, you actually, in the last 2 or 3 minutes, your pressure picked up, but the same thing, just couldn't buy baskets
Right.
when you needed them. Fortunately, as far as seeding goes, it
Right.
really didn't have any implication.
Yeah,
Stayed in the 8th spot.
correct. Yeah.
Don?
Well, Kyle, we'll take a look at the tournament here in a second, but before we do, let's take one look back at kind of how the whole season went as a whole for you guys. And every year, and this is your 7th as a head coach, every year does have its ups and downs, no matter who you are. But you come out of that season with memories. So what are some special moments, some special memories maybe from this year they'll stick with you long after the final buzzer sounds, the uniforms are put away for another year?
Sure, and obviously, we're hoping we have a good bit of basketball left here, and we want to shift, to the new season of the tournament, and go and make some noise here in this thing. But when you look back on it, I think it's the players. It's the players. We've got special players, special people, and their level of connectivity through it, regardless of what was going on the court, was special to watch. And just love them dearly, and seeing what they were capable of. And then you see some of the accolades that they were able to put up. We had some players do some absolutely special things, and unfortunately it gets overshadowed by the lack of winning, which is just flat out a shame. Corinne Thomas has an all-American caliber year, and if we could string together some more wins, for us and for her, it's viewed a lot differently than maybe it is now. But you can't take anything away from the career she's had and how well she played this senior season. And Carly Bailey right there with her. Jenna had an unbelievable year. Little disappointed for Carr. I thought she earned more in the MEC voting, if you will, but that's stuff that unfortunately we can't control a lot, because she had a really good year too, and the thing that was incredible with her was her consistency from a standpoint of the effort and the emotion and everything that she put into the game. But it's definitely the players, the memories that we get with them, and unbelievably saddened that we couldn't get more wins to celebrate more of those moments. But that is something that I'll grow from personally as a coach, and I'll find ways to get it better and ensure that we can do things. But right now we're trying to take care of ensuring we can max out today, Tuesday, eve of the tournament for us, and then make a run here, because we can, and we've proven we can do those things.
Well, and as you mentioned, we are taping this on Tuesday morning, so we're about 24 hours away from the start of another MEC tournament. And people can talk about regional rankings, you can talk about national rankings, tournament seedings, all they want. But the great thing about postseason basketball, everyone starts off 0-0.
Yes.
Survive and advance. And like you said, do you think the Hilltoppers have a chance to do some surviving and advancing this week?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think you've seen it in our league. Our league has been kind of the most parity, if you want to use that cliche, we've seen in a while. And in turn, it's who's going to perform on a given night, but who's going to not have anything self-inflicted, who's going to be the most consistent with their brand of basketball. And I think for us, it's how much can we play complementary basketball? Are we going to be firing on all cylinders from a kind of a transition to both sides of the basketball, to all of those things? You got to stack it all, and unfortunately we've been inconsistent in that, but we've shown that when we are consistent, we can do incredible things. We're not far removed from a game where we drop 110 points.
Right.
We're not far removed from holding some teams that have been averaging in the mid 70s to 80s down in the low 70s and upper 60s. We're capable of doing so much. It's getting in the right frame of mind that says there's a sense of urgency, and for us, a level of connectivity on that floor that says we can be successful. But there's no doubt we have the people, we have the talent, and we have the ability to go do it, and I just can't wait to get started.
Okay, and just to zero in on your first tournament matchup, tomorrow afternoon, 2:30, West Bank Arena. You're taking on West Virginia Wesleyan. Obviously, third time you've played them this year. On the surface, looks like a really close matchup. I mean, both teams won 6-point games at home. Again, third time you've played them. What have you learned from them? What do you have to do to survive and advance tomorrow afternoon?
I think we have to make them earn things. I think that Coach Vincent has done a really good job of doing more with less and maximizing his kind of players in their role, in their niche, if you will. And in turn, you've got to take some of that stuff away. So he runs some good stuff, design backdoors, design things for shooters, ways to get touches to first team or second team, whatever she ended up, all conference players like Emma Witt. Like, he does a good job of getting players to their spots. We've got to be good about not allowing that stuff to happen. Make them play over the top of us. Diminish a kid like, the freshman of the year, Sydney Barrett's ability to fill it up if she gets going. We've got to be locked in defensively so we can play in transition either more. But regardless, make, miss, we've got to play fast. And we've got to play with a level of connection on that court offensively that says we're working for each other and we're going to take what's there. And if we'll do that, I think we'll be in really good shape.
Well, Coach, good luck tomorrow and the rest of the week.
Yes.
Well, we quickly mentioned the all MEC teams, which came out yesterday, and Corinne Thomas, first team all conference. Yeah. So from my eyes, I think her game took a jump this year.
100%.
We talked about she had some special nights. So what made her even different this year from being a good basketball player to a great basketball player this season?
I think part of it's consistency. I think that she had obviously a knack for scoring, a knack for hitting the big shot and likes the big moment, all of those things. But I think the consistency for her and the fact that she continued to trend up no matter the circumstances was huge for us. But just the other things that she brought for us, the rebounding. I referenced the Concord game and how I think that was one of the best individual performances I've seen. It was so much more than scoring 34 points. And I think that that's what, you guys always reference the Swiss Army knife, but like, she owned that role and it made her take her game to another level. And I can't say that any of us are surprised. I can tell you our coaching staff's not surprised, her teammates aren't surprised. The reality of it is some unfortunate things with injuries, ups and downs throughout her career, but like, she put it together this year and she earned that accolade, and I only wish we could get her even more.
Yep, absolutely. And I always, as a coach, for as much as we like awards and that whole process, I can remember we would leave practice and I would say, hey, I just want to mention this. The all-conference teams come out tomorrow. We don't vote for our own kids.
Right.
Someone is always going to get ripped off. That's the reality of
Right.
it, whether it's at West Liberty or some other school. Someone could plead a case. We talked about, you mentioned Carly. She was top 10 in the league in like 5 or 6 statistical categories.
Yes.
So how do you deal with that? How do you convey that?
I mean, I think it's more conveying it to the world. So, like, I obviously think that Carly is a first-team all-conference player, and I think her numbers are beyond deserving of that. I think the beauty of it is if you know Carly McCutcheon, all she wants to do is win. The kid is a winner. So no matter how she may feel about it, no matter how we feel about it, like, this will only continue to have her do what she does, and that's show up every day and be the special individual that she is, both on and off the basketball court. And that's what you gotta love. And that's the stuff that, like, it keeps you going as a coach. I don't care how many ups and downs we have. When you look at a kid like Carr and their approach to life, you fight every day. You fight every day.
And just again, getting into the MEC awards, an interesting thing, the coach of the year, Jenna, who we know, Jenna Eckleberry, and have known her for years. It's the same thing. She definitely deserves this, but Steph at Fairmont, they pretty much, they weren't the preseason number
Right.
one.
Right.
They were number one from the beginning of the season until the end.
Right.
You could argue that she deserved coach of the year.
For sure.
It's just, as much as I like them and we talk about them,
It's the bottom line is there's just inconsistencies in everybody's approach. We're not necessarily told this is how we want to approach things. It's based on this tier first, then this tier, then this tier. If there was consistency in that, I think you'd see consistency in the awarding. But the reality of it is all of us are left to our own to decide how we want to approach this thing, which I get it. That's one way to look at it. It's just, it makes it more interesting for sure, because you look at those, Carly in particular, but even Bailey and Jenna, their numbers were really, really good. So if it came down to winning, I get it. That's the approach that some people are going to take. But if you're looking at it from an individual performance standpoint, their numbers trump a lot of other people.
yeah, I get that. So, Coach, good luck. Tomorrow, what time's the game?
Tomorrow we're at 2:30. Obviously, Topper Takeover's going 2 hours before at River City. I encourage Topper Nation, take the rest of the week off. Let's have fun. Let's support us. Let's support the men. And most importantly, let's send this group out that's worked so hard out with not only some wins, but the support they deserve, because our players are special and they've earned that.
Absolutely. Well, that wraps up this segment of Inside Hilltopper Athletics. We'll be back with head coach Ben Hallett.
Disasters happen. Pick the team that takes care of them all. Powered by offices in Wheeling, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration is ready to handle any size emergency at a moment's notice. We have the right people, knowledge, and equipment to respond 24 hours a day.
I'm Kyle Cooper. When disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Hilltoppers call, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Inside Hilltopper Athletics is brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Lynn.
Welcome back to Inside Hilltopper Athletics as we conclude the MEC regular season schedule. And now we're joined by conference champion coach for the 7th consecutive year, Coach Hallett. Congratulations. Give us your thoughts on another regular season crown.
Yeah, remember sitting here with you guys back in December and not feeling the best after a couple losses to some teams down in Florida, and just really proud of our team. I thought we handled business there, especially late in the season, and got a little help from our friends at West Virginia State in beating Charleston, which obviously allowed us to be co-champions this year with University of Charleston. So battled through a lot of adversity. Still think we're getting better. We're going to take this week and improve on some things that I think we need to improve on, and hopefully put a 3-game span together there at the MEC Tournament, and hopefully raise the trophy down there at West Bank Arena and be conference tournament champions down there.
Well, this was a year that the conference was extremely top heavy, and there's probably not a better example of that than this stat. One of the teams that didn't win the regular season champion, West Virginia State, was 3-1 versus you in Charleston. And we still got a really good Concord team that had a dream year. And that we're not even talking about a perennial juggernaut like Fairmont. So really, really top-heavy league with a lot of good basketball. And for you to come out of that, and hey, sometimes you need that help.
Yeah.
But the reality is, it doesn't matter whether you got that help on the last day of the regular season or got it a month ago. It's all the same thing. And in the MEC conference champions, if you tie, you're both champions. Now, unfortunately for our viewers out there, Charleston did have the tiebreaker, so they are the number 1 seed in the tournament. You're number 2. So before Dawn starts quizzing you, let's quickly go back to what happened on the court last week. Made the trip to Notre Dame in a very wild and unusual game. So give us thoughts on that.
First off, that's an incredibly tough place to play. It's given us fits in years past. And it was an odd game. I thought at times we played well, really well, and I thought at times we played really bad. I thought, at the start of the game we had a hard time getting stops, and just from an offensive standpoint, weren't moving the basketball and weren't playing team motion offense. And the start of the second half, I thought we played really well, both offensively and defensively. Give Notre Dame a lot of credit. They did what they needed to do to make it competitive, and then obviously got down there late at the end of the game and put the ball in the hands of a guy that's been here for 4 years, and he drills a bomb for us, just an incredibly tough shot, a step back with a guy in his face, and puts us up by 1, and we got to stop there at the buzzer to win the game. But just, I think it was a gritty, gutty, whatever you want to call it, type of win for our team. And it's a win that we needed. Obviously kept us alive and running the conference championship, and just proud of our guys. It wasn't pretty by any means, but we found a way to win.
So when Notre Dame is going to the line, tie game, Notre Dame's going to the line with less than 10 seconds left, what are you talking about from the sideline to the players?
Yeah, first off, we've talked about that situation before, so we're not going to call it a timeout. And I know people probably think you need to call a timeout because that's the right way to do things, but we've talked about that, and we would like to play against them when they haven't talked about their defensive strategy. So we just ran a quick set play here that we've ran for years, and got Zach a minor opening, and he drove the shot. But obviously things would have changed if the kid would have made 1 free throw rather than 2, but he made 2, and we went for the win. We wanted to go for the win, and again, he made the shot, and we'll take that.
All right, then we make the short distance down Route 88 to Wheeling University, playing a team that didn't have a great record, but a team that plays hard and battled everybody the entire season. So let's quickly talk about the Wheeling game.
Yeah, really well coached. I think Chris does a really good job down there. And Marcus Johnson, I've seen a lot of good players in our league. That guy, he's just really good. And from a physical standpoint, he's big, but he's extremely skilled. Can put the ball in a yo-yo and dribble it. He can pass out of the post. And some of those shots he was making, I told our guys at halftime, I don't know what to tell you. You guys are playing actually really good defense on him, and he's a first-team all-conference caliber player, if not player of the year type of caliber. So, but again, the other guy, their supporting cast they have down there, I think, they're all good enough to beat you. And things weren't going our way there at the end of the first half. They cut it to 5, and thought we came out and kind of flexed our muscles a little bit there in the second half. And once we took the lead, by double digits, we didn't look back and finished the game off.
Good.
Yeah, well, Ben, and again, I want to echo Coach, congratulations. 7 straight conference championships, 7 years as a head coach. You like to talk about consistency on the court. That's consistency on the bench. And of course, winning is not easy. It's never easy. But I think now, and I may be wrong with the numbers, I think that's 14 of the last 15 years, and all because you were assistant on many of those teams. So we're used to conference championships here at West Liberty, but that's never something you take for granted, is it?
No, I think I'm going to quote Mike Tomlin on this. The standard is the standard, and it's the standard here. I think if you're not competing for conference championships, or if you're getting second or third, it's not good enough. Like, people want to win here. I want to win. Our players want to win. Topper Nation wants to win, and we found a way to do that. Now it's we've cut the nets down at West Banco a few times, and our guys have a taste of that, and that's a really good feeling. So that's our focus right now is going down to West Banco, and we've kind of used this phrase the last 4 or 5 years as a three-game mission, and it starts on Friday with the unknown opponent right now between Glenville and Frostburg State, but that's our attention right now, and we want to clean some stuff up and hopefully have a good showing down at West Banco.
And that is something. We are taping this Tuesday morning. You don't play. You played Saturday afternoon at Wheeling, and you don't play again until Friday afternoon against somebody that you won't know until late Wednesday night. So a couple extra days rest. Do you this point in the season, do you like having those couple extra days off, or would you rather keep going?
Keep going, keep playing, and our guys, they like the days off. But me, I want to keep playing. I think we're in a good routine right now, and did something I haven't done ever, and I gave our guys 2 days off. We didn't practice Sunday, didn't practice yesterday. We're going to have 3 days to kind of prepare ourselves for Friday's game, but. It's just an uncomfortable feeling when the team that you play plays a game before you play them. And if you can remember during the COVID year, during the Elite Eight, we played a Malone team, and Charleston had the bye.
Yes.
And we got a game in before we played Charleston. And I still say to this day that really helped us, because I thought Charleston was a little rusty during that time. And I just don't want to have that excuse on Friday where there might be some rust shown because we haven't played in over a week.
Okay. Well, and again, we talked about, we're West Banco Arena, downtown Wheeling. I think this may be like the 6th year that Wheeling has hosted at West Banco. But I know the last 5 years that West Liberty has been in the championship game. First team to win back-to-back MEC Tournament and conference championships in the same season, going for a three-peat this year. But as Coach alluded to earlier, really wide open tournament field this year. I mean, you got 10 teams in the tournament. Half of them have received top 25 votes and or been ranked in the top 25 at some point or another this season. How do you see this tournament shaping out?
I think it's anyone's ball game. I think, for us, we've never been the 2 seed. We've always been the 1 seed. So we're actually in a little bit unfamiliar territory, but it's kind of nice because we're going to play the 2:30 game on Friday, and then if we're lucky enough and good enough to win that, we don't play again until 8 o'clock on Saturday. If you remember, we usually play that 6 o'clock game, and then we wait around to see who wins the 8 o'clock game, and by the time you get home, it's 11, and it's daylight savings time half the time, so you lose an hour of sleep that way. So we're going to get a little bit of a longer break, but again, I think it's anyone's ball game. I think, our side with us and Glenville and Concord and D&E and Frostburg, anyone, and obviously the other side with Fairmont and State and Charleston, the 3 juggernauts. I think it's going to be a really good tournament. I think people should go and watch this basketball because I think it's all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, it should be quite a week with all the stuff that we're seeing there. And also, it's not just the MEC Tournament, which is obviously our focus this week, but all these games are going to have an impact on the regional rankings. Sunday night, as you mentioned, daylight savings time. Also, when the NCAA regional rankings, tournament pairings, selections, everything comes out, it's Selection Sunday for Division II. How much focus do you have on it? Do you even have time to think about that during this week?
Oh yeah, I think about it all the time. I bug Coach to death on it. Probably tired of me texting him, but talked to our team about it yesterday when we met. We just met as a team and didn't do anything. We just talked and talked about where I think we are as a team, and it's just a really important week, not just for us, but a whole bunch of other teams. I think there's some teams fighting to get in there for a couple spots, and I think you're going to see some really serious effort for some teams because they're fighting to get in that NCAA tournament.
Okay, well, congratulations, Coach. Good luck. Looking forward to a long week in Wheeling.
Well, one of the things I've always enjoyed about my relationship with Coach Hallett is we look at the world in the same way in some instances, such as talk about championships every day, talk about regionals every day, and always on the phone checking every score, and if this team wins, it means that. So, but to me, that's what makes it more special.
Yeah, I agree.
That you immerse yourself into it, and unfortunately, we're at a point where every game matters for us, and we couldn't wish you any more luck. MEC All-Conference teams will probably come out later today, so good luck. Hope guys get recognized for that, and I hope you get Coach of the Year.
Thank you very much.
Well, that wraps up this segment. Don't forget MEC Tournament Week. Our men play Friday at 2:30
Yep.
versus the winner of Glenville versus Frostburg.
Correct.
And please come out and join us at River City before the game, after the games. It's always a special time there. A lot of fans, alums, hosted by the West Liberty Foundation and Alumni Association. So wraps it up. Good luck this week, Coach. Bring us home a title.
Hi, my name is Craig Bober. I'm a senior finance major at West Liberty University, and today I'm going to be showing you what it's like to be a part of this program. Heading to my first class of the day, investment portfolio analysis with Professor Jesse.
We're going to start off doing some current events, and then we're going to look at evaluating some stocks, figuring out the intrinsic value. We're going to do Knight, Tyson, Disney, and waste management. We need to make some investments with the investment club.
The finance program at West Liberty is an exceptional experience. In the program, there are amazing teachers that always make class fun and engaging. A new student enrolling in the program should expect a personable learning experience when you're engaging in classroom activities and building relationships with your teachers and classmates. I chose the major in finance because of my interest in the finance world and my want to pursue a career in business. My goals after graduating are to become a certified financial planner and help people achieve their retirement and savings goals. We're heading to my second class of the day, Management Capstone with Dr. Rocchio.
So part of what we've been doing over the last several weeks was looking at the internal and external factors of the companies that you had chosen to research.
This major is good for others to consider because of the quality of education you receive and the relationships you build with the people in the business department. Professionally, with a finance degree, you have many different career options like banking, insurance, financial planning, or even tax services. I chose West Liberty University because I did not want to go far from home, but I still wanted to be away. Personally, what I like most about West Liberty is the great people that live here. West Liberty Business program attracts many people from different countries, so this provides you with a unique and diverse learning environment being here. We're going to be heading into the investment club meeting.
So as we talked about, here's our current portfolio allocation. So we still have about $5,000 left, so we need to make some investments.
The investment club is a student-ran club that is sponsored by West Banco, where we use real money to buy stocks and bonds to build a class portfolio. This club is a great place to learn about the stock market and how investing works. All the decisions that we make regarding our portfolio are voted on by all the members of the club. And now for my last class of the day, my finance capstone with Professor Jesse. West Liberty's Finance Capstone is unique because it is a CFP board-registered program, which is something that not all colleges offer. In this course, we learn about topics like ethics, retirement planning, tax planning, and risk management, which prepares us for the CFP exam. And now we're going to cap off the day with playing some basketball with my friends. Being a student athlete, there are many challenges that come with it, but the rewards far outweigh them. Through my 4 years of playing football here, I learned many valuable life skills and have built friendships that will last a lifetime. Thanks for coming along with me today, and for more information, just visit our website.
Disasters happen. Pick the team that takes care of them all. Powered by offices in Wheeling, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration is ready to handle any size emergency at a moment's notice. We have the right people, knowledge, and equipment to respond 24 hours a day.
I'm Ben Hallett. When disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Hilltoppers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.